Sorry to the public service announcement. You may have to see my underwear line. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. All right, in we go. My head. And I'm back. Well, that's my back, but this is my front. So today is doing a little more mock-up. As you said, probably every video. Never done anything quite like this, so I have remarked our LS block back into the car for fitment purposes. I'm seeing a potential issue here and here. I thought it would be more here, but you know what? That looks like it might be okay. I'm gonna see if I can get a head on it. A head start, if you will, and go from there. I'm gonna find a place to put you guys down. Time for hacking and slashing. I'm gonna notch this easily here. Look at this foresight. Instead of grabbing the overly hot piece with my fingers, as I usually would and hurt myself, I'll just drop it on the floor. Coming back with some head. Oh, ground strap, get out of the way. Much closer. Where am I hitting? Oh, hitting back there. I just didn't quite go back far enough. Okay. Some kind of death metal I think would be the best over top of this. Or elevator music. Just for the, you know, contrast. There we go. Once again, I'm going to attempt the, maybe this is, oh, I see what's my things have two settings and I'm on the wrong setting and I apparently didn't all the way through on this. I'm gonna make this look much neater too when we're done, but for now it's fit. Dropping stuff. I guess I should just cut the whole thing through, and quit trying to pretend like I have an idea of what I'm doing. Yep, we're almost there. I'm just going in little amounts. And this is the part where you get to see my butt. I'm sorry. LeChunk. Feel pretty good about things. I guess what I'm gonna have to do is just cut that piece out, right? Where's my dowel? Wait. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Have a head. I'll bring everybody down here so y'all can see. We'll do it like the certain movie with ships in space. Coming through. And here we go. So here's the head. La, la, la.
Mr. Howie, are you ready for your close-up?
Always.
And you just look so pretty.
What's the point otherwise, right? All right, we have the heads held in by a couple bolts each. So the body isn't centered, but I still think I'll probably take more out of there anyway. I think I am higher on the other side, eh? Always saws all up. There. And if it doesn't fit, we keep cutting. Like a lot of this footage is going to end up on the floor of the cutting room. Now, it's not like you need a ton of clearance for these valve covers, but we're gonna make sure we're nice and in there and we can get up bolts and stuff. And
so we're just mocking this up right now?
yep, just for kind of fit, so we know that when it's time to actually put the bilge motor in, we're not gonna be all over the place and trying to make this work or that work or all this kind of stuff. We can just be pretty confident that we're dropping and go ready.
What's that?
This is the intake. Oh, that's the intake too. Right in there. There we go. I had this mocked on a minute ago, but I didn't have any bolts in the head, so
I feel like you're about to have something else in the head here.
Mr. Heater hose. The accessory hose, whatever. All those hose. Alright. So that's basically where that goes. Oh, that's actually exactly where that goes. Okay, now the next thing is, will the headers fit? Hopefully they do, and if they do, that's awesome.
And if they don't?
Keep hacking away at stuff until they do. Might have to cut that, but we'll see. Going upstairs. I think these headers went down the road once
And that was it?
in Garrett's Camaro, and he didn't like the fact that it was throwing an engine code, and this is back in 2010 before he knew it just didn't matter. Pretty close, eh?
Yeah.
Hitting
How's it looking under there?
We're hitting the trans cross member right now. And this head bolt that I put, oh, you know what?
Yeah, no.
I'm not in the correct spot. Let me just anchor one here. And we'll get it there. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We might have to move that cross member anyway. We're making allowance for it for the header. So yeah, we're just gonna hit that cross member, but everything else is pretty solid. Like that's.
Yeah, it's really hard to see from this angle, but.
Yeah, and the engine isn't exactly on the right angle. So yeah, we can flip this cross member up. I think we're gonna have to anyway.
That should solve our problem.
That'll solve the problem. Yeah, it's lower right now, but our transmission is gonna sit a bit higher. And instead of blocking it up a ton, we'll just flip that to the top, give our exhaust clearance. Sweet. I'd say we're in pretty good shape as far as that's concerned. Well, that's awesome. And then you can keep the exhaust tucked up tighter to the frame here too. Not that there's a huge concern.
New day. Back down to the garage. Got a couple things to do today. Nothing quite as cool as what Tim pulled off yesterday. I thought it was pretty neat to see how he got the engine mocked back into the frame and just made all those little snips and stuff like that he needed to do, and it was quite a sight to see. We're back to being empty again. So what my plan today is this cross member here has got to come out and be moved. The reason for that is because the ends of the headers and eventually the rest of the exhaust is gonna run underneath that. It's gonna be too low, it'll be on an angle and all that sort of stuff. Plus, The other thing that we found when we put the engine in when the body wasn't on was that the transmission sat pretty high off and it needed some spacers. So that should solve that problem. After that, I'm going to go along the bottom of the frame and start figuring out how I'm going to make my mounts so that we can get this put on at least in 2 spots solid, so it's a little bit easier to move around. Never done this before, so it'll be interesting. I have a couple of ideas what I want to try. I am waiting for parts to come in. I ordered the body mount bushings, but they haven't shown up yet. But I can get a bit of a head start because I'm going to actually have to get somebody to cut some metal and stuff like that up for me, so it'll make life a little bit easier to assemble and install. So, first thing to do, move that cross member. Those guys came off pretty easy. This throws me back to the very beginning when I was pulling stuff off the bottom of the truck. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Oh, stuck nut. There we go. I think I'm gonna pull this guy off here too, just because it's gonna be in the way. Might as well do it while I'm over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, on to the other side. You'll notice that I have my cardboard on the ground. To me, that's always been kind of an old man thing, but I guess that means I'm starting to become an old man, worried about getting my shirt dirty. Well, here we go. Gotta get the other side popped off. Hopefully that's as easy as the other one, and then flip it around and see how it sits. So I've got it flipped around, and I'm thinking that might be a bit high, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission in and we get the engine back on and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just throw some bolts through it to hold it in place, and then we'll see. If it doesn't work, then what I'll probably do is we can still flip it and put it underneath, and then put the spacers that were in over top on it as well, and that'll bring it down probably into the right space that it needs to be. So now I'm under the car and it's time to start building up some structure. As you can see, we've got a pretty good mount right there. We've got some mess here. We have the remnants of a mount here from where we cut the floor out. And then we've got kind of a bit of a messy inner rocker along here. So after speaking to Tim, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this guy alone. I'm gonna cut this guy out. I'm gonna cut this guy out. And then I'm going to get a nice long piece of metal and I'm gonna tack it in along here so we have new metal to work with. And then I will then start building up some new structure and mounts for in here to replace this, because really, I mean, we don't have, there's not really much left of this guy, so we'll be, and I don't think that there's very much left underneath either. No, it doesn't look to be. So I'm gonna start cutting and see where we get. It's always fun, lying underneath the car, getting covered in sparks. One's gone. Got a little bit of nice rot under there, but you know what? To be expected for a car this old, that's for sure. All right, now we can on to the next. This guy here, not much left of him. Ah! Broke my disc. All right, let's try a different method instead of this. Yeah, that's what I thought. have got lucky on the other side because it was so rotten. This is right on there. Okay, so what I'll have to do is cut that right off. Yeah, snippity snip. Oh. Ah, the simple jobs are nice. One messy piece gone. Put my muffs on. What?
You got a big burn on your neck.
Yeah. Jesus. It happens. There. Well, that's it. I got off what I needed to get off. So that now I just got to go measure up the inside here and get some plates made up and weld those on. My buddy Ron was just here and asked a question that I'm sure everybody else is asking. Why is your car not on the hoist and you're putting yourself through torture getting all these things cut off? And the reason that I've left it on the ground for now is that the straps and everything are still attached. The body is not on the frame. So what I really want to do is I just want to get at least 2 spots mounted before we start moving the car around. As soon as I can get those done, I'll work through it, suffer a bit, and then we'll get it on the hoist, and then we'll finish everything else off and do all the extra stuff then, and life will be much easier. So I don't know, maybe that's the wrong or difficult way to do it, maybe not, but that's the way I've done it today. So it's just a matter of cleaning things up and then I'm off. So thanks for watching, everybody. Always appreciate it. Make sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom to follow what we're up to, and I'll see you later.